What is up, family? We are excited you're here. This is Living Beyond the Dream, a podcast where we're going to have practical conversations to turn the dreams you have for your church and yourself into a reality. I'm Mike, and I'm joined by my main man, Tyler. Tyler, what are we talking about today?
Well, Mike, you make a statement a lot around here that a lot of people have dreams, but very few have execution. So today, can you expand on that a little bit?
Ooh, I love saying that, and it is such a truth, right? A lot of people have dreams, very few people execute on them. I've actually yet to meet someone that doesn't have a dream for their life. I've yet to meet someone that doesn't want more out of life. They don't have a dream, whether it's something as small as have a dream to be more healthier or to have more finances, whether it's something big on a career change or to get married. Most people, even quote unquote successful people, still dream. They still want more out of life. So I've yet to meet someone that doesn't dream. I've yet to meet a pastor that doesn't want their church to grow or any of those areas. However, I see a lot of dreamers. I don't see a lot of doers.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people that dream, not a lot of people that execute on those dreams. And so what we have is a whole lot of people that have a lot of hopes and a lot of wishes, but not a whole lot of people that are actually walking in their callings and walking in the life that they were designed to live. And so it's a problem. And they're kind of hoping they can find a genie in a bottle they can rub on it, and all of a sudden they're going to get all their wishes. But that never happens, right? I've never met a genie. I don't know about you. Have you ever?
I have not.
I've never I've never walked outside and all of a sudden money bags just start falling out of the sky. No, it just hadn't happened.
No.
So I have a lot of people that want, not a lot to people that get. So I mean, I wish that would be cool.
That would be awesome.
Let's make it happen. All
Let's
right,
do it.
Come on.
Why do you think that's the case for most people? Why do you think most people don't actually live the dreams that they've been called to?
Well, because most people don't want to put in the work to receive your dreams.
Yeah.
My pastor said ever since I was young, he used to say this back when I was in college. He say, dreams without discipline is fantasy.
That's good.
And so what happens is you got a lot of people living that fantasy life, right? They live that Disney magic.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people are willing to put in the work to see their dreams become a reality.
Yeah.
And it's not just putting in the work, it's putting in the work consistently to do the right things to see something happen.
Yeah.
And here's what I found. I found a lot of people like the high of the idea. They don't like the sweat of the discipline to get the idea. So, man, it feels good to dream a dream. It feels good to have all these ideas. It feels good to come up with an invention. This was me, man. My wife got so sick of hearing all my inventions growing. Like early in our marriage, be like, I got the perfect business idea, right? I got the perfect invention, right? We gonna be rich, right?
Yep.
That was it. But the problem is I don't want to put in all the work to see those happen.
Yeah.
Because what I wanted to do is just to tell somebody my idea. They go, you know what? That's a good idea. Let me write you a blank check.
Yeah.
You go do it. And I don't want to actually invest my own money. I didn't really want to put in the sweat equity. I didn't want to wake up early and stay up late while I'm working a 40-hour work week. I didn't want to put into place the disciplines.
Yeah.
So you find a lot of these people, whether that's entrepreneurs that have all these beautiful ideas, whether that's pastors or ministry leaders that have all these different ministry ideas. Well, if we just do this, then this will work. And if we do that, then this will work. And they get on these blogs and they see somebody post something and they go, come into staff meeting the next day. We're going to change everything, right? And what happens is not those ministries are bad. Not that those ideas are bad, not that those businesses are bad, but if you just have an idea without the consistency of discipline attached to it, you're never going to see results, right? If I just work out one time, I ain't getting six-pack abs.
So true.
Here what happened, right?
So true.
We go work out one time, and then we like, I was good. So I'm getting me them buffalo wings, right? With that nice ranch dipping sauce, right? And we cancel out all the good because we're not willing to be consistent with the lifestyle that we need to live our dreams. So that's the issue.
I feel like that's a common theme. Like, and we've seen work ethic. Like, if you think a generation back, like our parents and our grandparents, like work ethic was so important. But now, and I don't know if it's a generational thing, but now it's like this theme of overnight success and entitlement has arose. Where has that come from?
Well, overnight success has always existed. There's always somebody that looks at someone else's life and thinks that they had it easy, right? So, I mean, that's it. I mean, people live and they love to attend the party of pity, right? They love to have their pity party. So that's kind of been an issue. Now, we have a little bit different from some generations come past because our grandparents know what it's like to have parents that came through the Great Depression.
Yeah.
So they were raised showing them, look, this isn't easy. When I was a kid, this was the issues. And so our parents had parents that were disciplined in that. But then the farther you get away from something like that, and then when we went through the boom of the late 80s, 90s, when everything was kind of economy was rolling good, we were raised in that. So we, of course, are going to have a little bit different where we think that privilege is just something, an entitlement is something that's given to you. So overnight success a lot of times is not necessarily because we look at it with a negative slant because we're just bad people. It's just because we've always thought things happen easily. The problem with today's society is that we live in a day and age where you go online and boom, you look up here and you see Instagram and you see all these nice highlights and you see these YouTube videos and you go, whoa. It happened instantly, right? And you see these people with all these followers and they're saying these things and they're going to these nice houses and they got the nice clothes and they're like, it just happens instantly. And then we do that as pastors, right? We come home on a Sunday or a Sunday evening and we're kind of frustrated with our service and maybe we didn't have maybe attendance was low or we didn't feel like we got any reaction from our sermon or whatever, giving was low. And then we go online and we go, oh my goodness. And we see these perfectly crop shots, right? Like they get the right angle, right? Where the crowd looks packed in this other church and the worship team, right? It's got the rock stance with the lights and everything and the haze is perfect and he's got the right quote in the sermon and you're like, I can't preach like that and we didn't look like that. And what happens is we start comparing ourselves to everybody else. And then we start thinking we're less of a person or less valuable. Elon Musk said it in an interview a while back. He goes, happiness is reality minus expectations.
That's good.
So he says your happiness is your current reality minus these unreal expectations you place on yourself by comparing yourself to everybody else. He said what happens is we go online and we look at everyone else's highlight reels and we compare it to our everyday lives and we think we're less than because we're not that. And so we go online and we look at their church and we go, well, our church is just not as good of a church because look at them. Or we see this person go, well, we're not that successful because look at their house. And we see all these look how smiley their kids are, right? Like they're perfect family. They don't realize that mama's pinching the kids saying, you better smile right now, you know, right? But they think that they see the smiles. They don't see the hands, right? And they think everything. So what happens is we have these unreal expectations in our hearts and minds. And here's the reality. You're a unique creation. I'm a unique creation. How can we compare two things that are uniquely different
100%.
and then put our value on that? Like God doesn't put value that way, but we as humans do. And so what happens is we don't run our lane. I try to run your race. I can't run your race. I was not created to run the same race you run. I was created to run the race I was designed to run in, and I will never find fulfillment, and I will never find purpose, and I'll never find joy and passion until I realize I'm uniquely created, and I'm called to work on what God has ordained me to work on and be the church and the pastor I'm called and created to be. And when I can learn that and quit comparing, I can start walking with confidence in who I'm created to be.
That's so good.
It's not that I don't compare out of inspiration, right? I should be inspired and be motivated. It's that I don't compare my value to your value. And there's a big difference in what we're finding in people today, in today's age. And a lot of it's online stuff. I mean, it's not, social media is not bad. It's bad when you look at it through the wrong lens. And too many people do.
That's so good. That's so good. So I think you've hit on it, but just one more time. Why the podcast?
Yeah, I get a lot of people that I want to speak into and I want to help that are asking, and I love helping people. And this is a little bit shorter of a podcast than normal, but I want to see people win. I want to see you crush it. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you live your dreams. And I want to see things become reality. So I want to have some practical conversations week in and week out that we're going to talk about areas that you can grow in and you can develop in. And here's what I want you to understand so deep to my core. You've got to understand God doesn't measure your success the way humans do. God measures your success based on your impact. Your impact is not measured based on mass and volume, but it's measured based on stewardship. And this is what you got to realize. Listen to me. He celebrated in the story of the talents. He celebrated the servant with 2 talents the same way he celebrated the servant with 5 talents. It wasn't the volume or the mass that was created that he celebrated. He celebrated the stewardship. He said, you know what? You were given 2 and you did everything possible to make that successful. Well done, my good and faithful servant. The one with 5, the same thing. God wants you to understand what your lane is and to crush it.
Yeah.
And there is nothing greater than standing before the creator of the universe one day and him saying, well done, good and faithful servant. Think about that. The creator of the universe wants to bestow blessings and praises on you one day. And it's not based on human metrics. Church is based on your size. God bases it on your stewardship.
That's so good.
And your impact is not necessarily what you only touch with your hands, but it is based on who you impact that impacts. It's a domino effect.
Yeah.
And every soul that's impacted because you are faithful with the people and the moments that you are a steward of, God celebrates.
Yeah.
And I just want to see people win in that. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So it's a shorter format. Been a blessing.
Yeah.
I'm excited and we are ready. So what are we talking about next week?
Next week's an amazing topic: self-actualization.
Okay, come on. I think it's the most important characteristic of a leader and an organization, being able to quit looking just through windows and start looking in the mirror and realizing what we're doing to hinder that. So if you're listening on iTunes or on the podcast or Stitcher, make sure you hit subscribe. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit subscribe, but also ring-a-ding that bell so you never miss an episode. And until next week, we pray God's peace.